Shalom, shalom, shalom. Giving honor and praise to the Creator and the Maker of heaven and earth. My name is Yeshaya Yisrael, the tribe of Dan of the nation of Israel. This is Hebrew lesson number 4 review, how to read Hebrew. This is a review of what we did before. That is to say, this past Wednesday. This is a presentation being brought to you from the congregation Shema Yisrael on the Shema Yisrael YouTube channel HIC2. Shema Yisrael HIC2. This is not going to be a long one, but we just want to sit there and get some things to be noted for edification purposes. One of the things to show is why we deal with Hebrew, the importance of dealing with Hebrew, and so forth. Giving due respect to the leader and founder of Shema Yisrael, Nathi Zipor, and his son Nasi Nathanael, as well as Chief Nathanael of the tribe of Levi. One of the things we want to sit there and show is, pardon the cover a little bit, is this Hebrew and English lexicon of the Old Testament. Now, when dealing with this kind of book right here, as far as the lexicon is concerned, what you're looking at is, for instance, is this here. Where my thumb is, see the word labash. The word labash means to wear or to put on. What this kind of book right here shows is the different parts in the scriptures where the word labash is used, where the word labash is shown, all right, and within the scriptures itself, all right? What we're going to do, Most High bless, is use the time to sit there and go over a review on Friday, what we did 2 days prior to. The purpose in the review, brothers and sisters, is to drill in and go in, if you will, concerning Hebrew as we know and Hebrew as we speak. All right, this is very, very important for edification purposes. Okay? What you're looking at here, brothers and sisters, is the word shalom. Okay? Now I'm using what is a commonly used word and want to sit there and explain what it is, so that way we can gain an understanding of what we're talking about. This is the letter Sheen. All right? You see this in Psalms 119. This right here is called the Quamats. So the Sheen making the SH sound, and this A sound becomes Sha. You have the Lamed with the Kolam, Shalom, and then here is the Mem Sophie. So let's understand what we're dealing with in this particular regard. All right? This right here is the regular Mem. All right? And this right here is the Mem Sophie. So if you're spelling the word Shalom, you don't end it with this letter right here. Okay? Now let's go over this while we're here in this particular regard. Here we see Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey. Repeat with or after me, is up to you. Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey. Waw, Zion, Chet, Tet, Yod. Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samek. Ain, Pei, Zade, Kuf, Resh, Shin, Tal. Now, in Hebrew, some of these have what you call variant form. Variant basically meaning like a different form or another form. That being a bet with the letter vet. All right? That being kaf with kaf, like a strong KH sound, as some may say. All right? Or with sheen with seen. All right? Because in many Shemitic languages, the sh and the s, the sh and or the s are interchangeable in certain cases. All right. So we just want that to be pointed out for edification purposes. So here, once again, we see Aleph, Bet, Gamel, Dalet, Hey, Wow, Zain, Chet, Tet, Yod, Chaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samek, Ayin, Pei, Zade, Kuf, Resh, Shin, Tau. All right. So the letters that we see in this particular part right here, the Shin, the Lamed, the Wow, Shalom, and this is the Mem. Now the root of the word Shalom is the word Shalom. Okay, and the word Shalom means to be complete. So therefore, Shalom means completeness in this literal sense. So when you're at peace, you are complete. When unfortunately you may be incomplete by default, you're not in peace. So we want that to be noted for edification purposes. All right. What we're looking at here, as we went over before, is the word Naphtali. The Nun, the Pei, the Tau, Lamed, Yod. Nun, Pei, Tau, Lamed, Yod. Now, Pei and Fei, I meant to say before that Pei is also having a variant of Fei. All right, just like Bet has the variant form of Fei. All right, so we want that to be noted for edification purposes. So if you're speaking this and say Naphtali, you're not grammatically or linguistically or numerically even in Hebrew incorrect. All right, because Bet and Vet make the same numerical value, as does Pei and Fei have the same numerical value, as does Sheen and Seen have the same numerical value. So therefore, those letters are not different in that regard. All right. You have the Noon with the Patak, the Fei with the Shawah. We went on before Naf, and then you just end that part. This is important. Noon and Naf, then you end that part. Tali, Tau with the Qamats, Lamed with the Kirik, then the Yod. All right, so this is important to understand for edification purposes. So I picked this kind of word in that regard. All right. Let's look at this real quick. Sorry about that delay. Okay, you have the Patak, Zere, Segol, Shawa. All right, now if we're looking at this, getting back to this here real quick, right? If you're looking at this in Naphtali, this right here has the Shawa, all right? Which shows that you join it with what is before it, and then you continue moving on in the word, be it reading or speaking, all right? That vowel underneath the pay or the fade, depends on how you want to say it, right? That's called a Shawa, all right? Here's a Shawa right here, all right? So you just join it with what's before it. In the words such as Bebakwasha, or as in the word Medaber, you have it to where the Mem or the Bet, as in Bebakwasha, has this in the beginning. Bereshit has this vowel in the beginning. All right. You would never see a Shawa with brothers and sisters, the first and the second letter of a word. Always remember that. You will never see a shawah in the beginning and the first part, the first letter of a word, as well as the second. Maybe the second and the third, yes. Maybe even the first and the third, but never the first and the second. All right, so we just want that to be noted. Then you have the kirik making the E sound. All of these so far, the three up top here, and this one right here, which brothers and sisters is referred to as the shuruk, that actually goes underneath the vowel. Underneath, 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 underneath. So that should be noted for edification purposes. When you see it as in this, as in the word Yerushalem, means it's mixing the U sound. All right? So we want this to be pointed out and noted. Okay. Going over this kind of thing right here, right? Let's look at this right here, if you will. This word right here. Sagar, Samek, Gamel, and Resh. All right? To shut or to close. Sagar, to shut or to close. All right? You will see sometimes a Resh as the last word, a Gamel as the last word, sometimes a Samek as the last word. All right? But you will not, brothers and sisters, see what is referred to as one of the Sofit letters in the middle or the beginning of a word. All right? So we want that to be noted for edification purposes. Now, let's look at this alphabet chart once more. All right? If we will. And let's see the Sofit letters and explain in that particular regard. All right? This here is the Kaf Sofit. Makes the Ka sound or K sound, all right, at the end of words. All right? This is the Mem Sofit. It makes the M sound at the end of words. This is the Nun Sofit. Nun Sofit making the N sound at the end of words. This is the Fe Sofit, making the F or the P sound at the end of words. And this is the Zadeh Sofit. It's like a Nun Sofit, as you see there, the way it looks, and just one of those slants. Things in that regard, similar to like what you see on top of the olive. All right? So I just want that to be noted for edification purposes. You see this letter here in the word Eretz, as you see in Genesis. All right? You see this word here in the word Yosef, as you see in Genesis. You see this word right here, Shabbat tone, ends with this one right here. All right? So just show the emphasis on it in that regard. You see this right here in the word Mayim at the end, which means water. And you see this word here, or pardon me, this letter here, with the Kaf Sofit, as in the word Melek or Mal-Kaka. All right? Now, of the 5 Sofit letters, of the Kaf Sofit, Mem Sofit, Nun Sofit, Fe Sofit, and Zadeh Sofit, of those 5 letters, only 2 of them you will ever really see with a vowel with it. And that's the Kaf Sofit and periodically the Nun Sofit. The only vowel that you will see with the Nun Sofit, all right, and it's sometimes written underneath or sometimes right over in this vicinity of the letter right there, is the Kwamatz, which makes the Ya sound, Ta'asena. Sometimes you won't see it end with a hey, you just see with the Nun as the Nun Sofit with that there. This right here also takes a vowel, but it's either taking the Kwamatz, all right, or the Shawah. As in the word Melek, it ends with the Shawah inside of it. So the only 2 vowels that the Kaf Sofit will take, as stated, is what? The ka, as well as in the shawat itself, and then you just make the sound together and then move on to the next word. So this is just something we want to point out for edification purposes. You will not see a vowel with the mem feet, the face feet, or the zade feet. As stated, very rarely you will see a vowel with the nun feet, and that is generally only the quamats. And concerning this kaf feet right here, you will see either the shawat or the quamats within it. So we want that to be pointed out for edification purposes, brothers and sisters. This is beginning steps of knowing how to read. Now, for those who are following along, if you look at this, even without the English, and say Naphtali, you have already read Hebrew. All right, so applaud yourself in that regard. So, once again, if you look at this word right here, the word shalom, all right, Shin Lamed, Wa with the Kolam and the Mem, shalom, which means peace or complete. All right, so we want that to be noted for edification purposes. All right, then we see this here, the alphabet. We're going to go over this one more time, okay, and say the sound that it goes with it. Aleph, mute. Bet, B. Gamel, G. Dalet, D. Hey, H. Wow, W. Zion, Z. Het, KH. Tek, T. Yod, Y. Kaf, K. Lamed, L. Mem, M. Nun, N. Samek, S. Ayin, said to be mute. Pei, P. Zadeh, TZ sound. Kuf, Q, U, or KW sound. Resh, meaning what? Head or leader, making the R sound. Sheen, meaning tooth, or from the word sheen, meaning tooth, making the sh sound, as in the word shalom. Then we have tau here, which makes the T sound, not the S sound whatsoever. So we just want this to be noted for edification purposes. All right. So we're going to go over one more thing in this particular aspect. The Hebrew class so far now has been concluded, but because it was short, it was just a review, all right? This is like homework, you may say. Like you go in school and then you get a report to do for later or so forth. That's what this kind of thing is in this particular regard. It's like homework, review, what we went over during the week, all right? We want to stay consistent and on base with this. We don't want to flip-flop. We don't want to sit there and shuck and jive. We don't want to sit there and be a backslider. We don't want to deal with a slack hand once it comes down to teaching these kind of things. Once it comes down to enlightening our people on these kind of things. All right? So, most are blessed. We're going to continue on with this kind of teaching. Next week, Wednesday, will be lesson number 5. Shalom.